From Wayne to Wallingford to Ridley Park to New York and around the world, this is Monsoon Live right here on YouTube. I'm your host, Jeffrey Monsoon Mysick, and what a ride we have for you today. Yes, as you can tell, no more long hair. I finally got it cut. But today is a historic day. This is a double header event. We got a two-part show for you. Today's guest is a two-time IBF cruiserweight champion, a great guy, a great friend of just boxing in general. He answers his fans, and it is Mr. U.S. Navy himself, Steve Cunningham. I had a chance to sit down with this remarkable boxer, ask him a couple questions about his career, and the interview was so long that we cut it up into two parts. So this is the first part of this amazing interview with this great boxer. So now I'm proud to present my sit down with Mr. Steve Cunningham via Skype. Thank you for doing this, first of all.
It's cool.
I told my buddy Travis Lee Hartman we were doing it, and he was telling me all about you, and I was like, yeah, he's a good guy. I said, yeah, I see him fight all the time. Come on.
I'm alright, man. I get called the racist a lot not a lot, but a few times on Facebook.
Hey, I've read your post, and you speak the truth. That's what I say. We're all set?
It's recording.
All right. Well, I'm with the man himself, a local Philly fighter. I love saying this, two-time IBF cruiserweight champion. Being the son of the Navy guy, because my dad served in the Navy, I had the honor of interviewing a local Navy man himself, Mr. Steve USS Cunningham. Steve, welcome to Monsoon Live. It's a great honor to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I'm happy to do this.
Yeah, gonna ask you a couple questions. My philosophy is it's open mic. You can say what you want.
Alright.
That's how I always put it. First question is, what got you into boxing?
Wow, that's interesting. That goes back to when I was a teenager. I mean, growing up in Philly, I was raised with my mom and dad up to about the age of 9. Then my mom and dad separated, and that's when life got, I could say, real for me. Dad wasn't there. I grew up with my dad. My dad was Superman to me, so it was just like a perfect home, setting. Our neighborhood was cool. This was all before crack, before the crack epidemic in the ghettos. So, I mean, the neighborhood, everybody looked out for each other. You can go to somebody else's house and eat. But then after they separated, we moved around to different neighborhoods, and I got picked on. I was the new kid in school all the time. I got jumped a lot, and I really remember making a conscious decision to fight back. I mean, today, I don't understand today with the bullying situation. What they're telling these kids to do is basically they're sissifying the kids to an extent. There's nothing wrong with balling your fist and protecting yourself. Tell the teacher. But, that's not going to stop a bully. There's a few things that's going to stop a bully. Sending them to jail, possibly, and we don't want to do that.
No.
Or this dude fighting back. Bullies only fight people who mess with people who won't fight back. So I decided, man, I'm going to fight back, and I beat some butt. I kicked some butt. I didn't win every fight, but I kicked butt, and they knew, whoa, that dude is not free, he's not free lunch anymore, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
So, then next thing you know, I kind of started getting a little reputation in the neighborhood, for being a good fighter. Guys would try to fight me, and I'd tear them up. Like I said, I didn't win them all, but I didn't lose them all. And I enjoyed it, though. I liked it. And this one guy, he was a crack addict. He came up to me, and he showed me some things, and he's like, man, you should go box. You should try to get to the gym. So I couldn't get to the gym in the neighborhood that I lived in because there was a lot of drug activity, and these guys in that gym actually didn't like me. They had guns, and yeah, I'm cool. I stayed my butt home. So years later, I graduated high school, and I signed up for the U.S. Navy, and man, I just started training. After work, we worked from 7 in the morning, about six in the morning. Sorry, that's Navy hours. 6 in the morning till about 3. Sometimes we got off a little early. I would go to Little Creek Amphibious Base in Virginia. I was on Norfolk Naval Base, and Little Creek was where the boxing team was.
Nice.
So I would train. I would just train, work out there. I had a crazy Marine officer named, he was a major at the time, Major Hansen. He was crazy. He would get in there and spar with me and just help get me ready, man. I love that guy. And I'm out of touch with him, man. I wish I could find him. But he really got me started in boxing, him.
Nice.
So this dude, man, my first amateur fight was against the light heavyweight champ of the Navy. And I remember they had a tournament, and he was like, look, I got you a fight. So I'm like, cool. And he's like, but I had to lie for you. I was like, well, all right, what? He's like, I told him you were 10-0 with 10 knockouts. So
oh, geez.
I was like, I was just as crazy as he was. I was like, cool, let's go. And he's like, it's against Israel Spencer, the light heavyweight champ of the Navy. So I was like, all right, let's go. And, I went down there, man, fought this guy tooth and nail, back and forth, but I outworked him in the last round and really took it to him. So they gave me the win.
Nice.
The coach had the application for the boxing team, and that was it.
And then it just started off on the career.
Off, man.
Well, before I go further into it, I was reminded on my Facebook a year ago I posted about somebody that you fight for, your daughter Kennedy. And it's funny, my mom asked me too about it.
Yeah.
Because her and I, like, when I tell her what I'm doing, I was like, hey, keep this little girl in prayer because she'll send me stuff. How is your daughter doing?
She's doing amazing. They're not here right now. I have her jump up in here right now, but they're up in the attic too. We moving to the new house, so I'm trying to get somebody to remodel it soon. But see the
hey.
But they're out getting their nails done, doing what women do.
Nice.
And she's doing great, man. She's it's unbelievable. I was just talking to someone at NBC. I was at NBC a few days ago in Connecticut, and the lady said a miracle, and I was like, that's the only way to describe this. I mean, it really is, But for all you guys that know the story, it's even deeper than what we could tell you, So one day we're going to do a book, but right now, I mean, we got this walking miracle in front of us,
Well, that is great to hear because, like I said, I followed your career, and when you posted that on Facebook last year, I was like,
oh, dude.
It was like, oh man, and I know there were a lot of people, especially my family, they were praying for
the
it.
world praying for us, and I want to send a special shout out. I know we probably never see this, but to Dr. Morrell. He, oh my goodness, he did the thing, man. He's a blessed man. He got a blessed gift. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I if you can believe it, I put up the post about Kennedy. The surgery being good, and I give my praise to my God. Yeshua and everything. And there was a guy who said, oh, God's this, God didn't do that, the doctor did it. And I'm like, dude, God blessed that man with a special gift. Everybody can't do what I do, and everybody can't do what that doctor does. The numbers are even smaller for him. He's got a special gift. That's a talent, man, a God-given gift. So I send him a nice shout out on social media, man. I love that man.
Hey. And, Kennedy's here with you, and it's like, I love hearing that story. I love hearing the good news about her doing well. Let's go back into the boxing. Always like to do that little side note. That's who I am sometimes. Out of your pro boxing career, out of all the fights, who was your toughest opponent that you faced in your career so far?
Toughest, man. Oh, man. Toughest. I gotta say Fury because I cracked him, and the consensus going in is, he's just a big loudmouth dude. He's big, he's loudmouth. I'm gonna split his wig. And I attempted to do the splitting up the wig, and hit him with some good shots. I brought the fight to him, but he just, with his size, and I went to camp with him months later. I seen that he has an engine, that he can go, and I see the workouts that he did. So he wasn't just some big dude. He's an athletic, in shape. He don't look like it, but he's in shape. And a guy that size being in shape, and one of his tactics is to get into your head with that trash talk. He gets into your head, and you can and easily throw your game plan out the window to try and knock this dude out. And I went for the KO, and I stayed in there much longer than I should have, and that allowed him to lean on me, lay on me, and just get me tired. I was trying, and he caught me with those shots, illegal or legal. That was a tough fight, you know, to deal with, you know. But and it was tough afterwards. I mean, emotionally and mentally, I was like,
Oh, I can imagine, because I watched that fight, and I'm like, dude, I even thought it was like, he and then I see him fight Klitschko, and I'm just like,
wow, exactly.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, this is not the guy who.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just that whole Klitschko Fury fight was. Ooh, I was like, wow, are you serious?
Yeah, and now they're gonna do a rematch. So.
Hopefully, this is my thing with that. I thought Vladimir might have edged Fury out, you know, possibly just because of his experience and, you know, he's been there. But, and the way of Vladimir beat other taller guys, you know. But it's like Fury got in there, I mean, you know, did his thing, and Vladimir just didn't do his thing.
Yeah,
you know?
Fury had the better game plan.
So now Vladimir's getting a rematch. I think Vladimir was so used to winning, you know what I'm saying? This aid get him up. We'll see.
We'll see. It'll be a fun rematch. Who would you want to fight? Like, if there's anybody out there, who would you want to get in the ring with? I mean, either cruiserweight, any way you want. Who would you want to get in?
I mean, at heavyweight, I would have loved to for Vladimir. Just because he was the man. You know, he was the man. He was the man to beat. You beat Vladimir, you're the man. So that's that champion within. You know, the champion wants to challenge himself to the. I mean, you see, look. I took the fight with Fury. We asked for Fury.
Yeah, you were like, we're doing it.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. You know, I got a crazy enough trainer to say, well, you know what? All right, this is where we at. Every man can be beat. Let's go ahead and try it. We work on this, and he said that overhand right is gonna put him on his back pocket, and it did.
Yeah.
So we, I'm that guy. I'm that crazy enough guy. I can see a man, I see a challenge, and say, you know what? You got 2 arms and 2 legs just like me. You can be beat. You can be hit. You know, but we gotta find a way to do it. So with the cruiserweight division, I mean, I would love to fight whoever. I would love to fight Glowacki. I would love to fight. I don't know if I said his name right. Hopefully, that's the guy who beat. Babel Shumanov. You know, these challenges. You know, I'm a challenge. I love to challenge myself. I jump in there with guys 270. You know, 6'9". That Tui Vicinio was about 280 or something. You know, but we stopped him. Listen, a fight is a fight. Anybody can be, this is Cruz right now. He just
Cruz
himself into the interview. So at cruiserweight, I mean, you know, I'm making this move back to cruiserweight just because I felt that, especially after that Tarver fight, you know, I don't think.
Which I think you won.
I don't think he should have got a draw. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, he threw 400 punches. I threw, I think, 700. It's unbelievable. How do you give a guy a draw? He caught me with, I think, 4 good left hands. That's it. That work I put in. You know?
That fight I watched, and it's like a buddy of mine who also watches boxing even said you won that fight.
It's no doubt.
And it was like, I'm like, well, that's Tarver. Tarver somehow.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it is. His star power. That was his network we were on, and you know that he commentated on. And you know he's got guys in the ring from the Rocky movies. So and then I looked at the commentary. I looked at the fight, and the commentary was basically all Tarver. Oh, he's 46 and he's looking good. And it's like, no, he was just sitting there posing and trying not to fight.
Yeah, you were the aggressor.
Exactly. So after the fight, I went to the locker room, and I really was like, man, if I can't do damage to this dude, I think I even need to start packing it up or thinking about moving back down, you know, because these judges aren't giving me the benefit of the doubt. They're not looking at Steve Cunningham as a heavyweight. I am coming in at 204, 205. But what am I doing to these guys? You know, and then coming right off of the robbery of the Glasgow fight in March. Ridiculous, dude. That's 2 in a row. So I mean, a draw is a loss to me.
Yeah.
Period.
And that's the thing. Like when I looked at your fight, it's like the 2 fights. Your reason 2 fights. I was always like,
Yeah.
He had those, and then it's and it's just bad judgment calls.
Bad judgment. So I'm back with cruiserweight division.
Well, we'll tie this in. Who's your What's the upcoming fight for you? Any on the horizon?
We were looking at January, but Heyman is my advisor with my wife Livy, my manager. So they basically were like, listen, let's go February instead of late January because the Super Bowl and we don't want to get lost in all of that mix. So we'll go February, possibly mid-February. We're looking at Glowacki. We're looking at Shumanov. We're looking at whoever's available. I mean,
good.
Listen, I want to go right to it. I want to get right to it. I don't have time to be playing. I mean, not that I'm feeling bad. I feel great. At 39, I feel awesome. But there's still no time. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I want to say, hey, I know the 3-time champ.
There we go. Boom. That's it.
3. Well, everybody, that's our first part. The second part of this special doubleheader will be airing on Thursday. Check it out and also comment, like it, and follow us on monsoonlive.org or follow me on Twitter at monsoonlive83 and, of course, on Facebook. But for now, we'll see you this Thursday for the second part of our grand finale with Mr. Steve Cunningham.